The video today is a figurative work, and the message that came up was add play to your day. I hope you're adding play to your day, and maybe you struggle with showing up, accountability, and I wanted to let you know that my new membership, Make Your Mark, is available now, and I have a special offer. It's $9 US for the first month. I'll put the link in the description below, and I hope you'll join me. There's going to be lots of interaction with the community in the hub, and also live Zoom calls, spotlight critiques, and paint and chat time. So I'll put the link below. Check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. So on to the video. Today I'm sketching these gals on my messy background, and so just kind of followed some of the shapes to come up with my figures, and I used a Markall pencil. So Markall pencil is water soluble, so I'm just going to sketch around it with water now, and it's going to run, but hopefully this keeps it from running in my paint. And you'll be able to see my sketch better as well. And I may or may not commit to keeping it like this, but for now, this will give us an idea of what the composition is. Something here that kind of looked like a bag, as well as over here. And let's see, some legs here. This looked like a big kind of cloud of hair, or a wild hat, I'm not sure, but anyway, I'll put that in, see where it goes. Okay, so I'm going to now put some negative painting in the background, and I'm just going to try this crafter's paint again. If you watched my last video, you saw me using this. So I'm just trying to use up a bunch of things that I have in my studio, and a sketchbook is a good place to use up bits and pieces of paint and lesser quality paint, so it's perfectly fine to use this in your sketchbooks, or if you're just practicing. So I don't really like the color with this, with what I've got on here. It's a little bit on the cool side, so I'm going to add some of the creamy yellow paint to it. See if I can warm it up a bit. It's a little bit overkill amount, but so I'm just going to blend those two together. Yeah, so that's turned it a little bit more into a greeny tone. So that works better with some of these teal colors in my painting. I guess theoretically, the first color I put down is cooler because it's leaning towards violet, warmer because it's leaning towards violet, whereas this one's leaning towards green, which would make it cooler. So I hope that you're also working in your sketchbooks to come up with some ideas or compositions. I find it good to look back at these sometimes when I'm stuck in a painting or I want a new idea, and it's a way of, you know, just fleshing out some ideas. And also sometimes we don't have a lot of time to paint. So today it's the end of the day. I've been prepping canvases, painting edges, and doing some administration work on the computer. So I didn't really have a chance to create, and I thought, you know, just before I break away for the evening, I'm going to just do something and allow myself to have a little bit of creative playtime, a little bit of fun. This really is something that helps with anxiety for me, and just keeps me in a calmer place than if I don't create. So I know how important it is, and I'm sure I'm not alone. So this gal doesn't have legs at the moment, but I will probably put some on her, and I might, I don't like how the lengths of the dresses are all the same, so I may change the length of one of them going forward. But anyway, once the negative space is done in the background, you can really see these gals popping out. So this craft paint has very poor coverage. It's quite watery and not much pigment in it, but it's fine to use in a place like this. So I'm going to put out some other paints now and see what happens. So there's red in here, there's some gold color, which is probably nickel, not Nicolazo, might be Nicolazo. It looks a little bright. Okay, so again, I've got a bunch of these small paint tubes with little bits in them that I want to just use up. So let's see. This isn't my all-time favorite color, and I'm not sure if there's anything left in here. No, it's dried up. Okay, so that's done with that. Okay, let's see. I've got some Quinacradone Crimson, so that may work. And it is a transparent color. You can see on the front label here. So that's going to optically mix with what is underneath, and it can change the color. So I'll probably leave her blue. I might want to push that back and not have it so bright as I think about it. So I'll put this red over on this girl. Now you can leave bits and pieces of the background if you have some nice stuff, but in this case it's pretty faded out, so I'm just going to let it be in the background. It's giving some texture and some color variation. And I think just to bring it onto this side, I'll add some into this bag here. Again, I've got some of that Markall and it's picking up. So let me add some of this yellow paint into here. So now I've got a lighter color, but it's still going to go because it's got the same color in it. I'm feeling like it could be lighter even. Okay, like I said, that feels like everything is lining up, so let me bring her dress down underneath. We'll see. I might end up changing that all, but for now I'm going to bring that down. Use a little of that color on the legs. Don't mind their faces being that. Well, I'm just going to leave those for now in case I want some of it in there. So I'm picking up quite a bit from the Stabilo Markall pencil. It is lifting. Her arm looks pretty bad. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about that at the moment. Let's see, what other colors do I have here? A little bit of phthalo turquoise here. Again, I find these little containers, they dry out so fast. So this color is super strong as well. So I've got quite a bit of water added into it. Seeing some of the marks from underneath. Just want to add a little bit of that turquoise color on this side as well. So even though it's not a color that you'd see in skin, we can take some artistic license here. She's really got a lean. Now I don't necessarily like how this ends. I'm just going to change where her elbow is. Okay, I'm going to have to wait for that to dry and come in with some better paint. So I'm going to get out some titanium white here. And her hair, I don't have gold anywhere else. I might put her hair in as black. I'm saying hair, but it might be hat as well. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this color that I have left, and my brush is a super big mess. Okay, I'm not going to, I'm changing the shape just so you can see that happening. So she's got a big lot of hair there. So I want to come back into the arm. To make a little bit more of a peachy color, so that's iridescent gold, that's not going to work. A little bit of lemon yellow. So the yellow is going to push this a little more towards peach, and the titanium white is going to cover a lot better. So it might take a couple of coats to get this a little less gray because it has a lot of the pencil showing up still. So let's see, go over here. No, I think I need to put a bit of a hand. And again, that was wet. Oh dear, that's a little more, but what I want to do is make some brown here. So I'm getting kind of a grayish brown. Really needs a bit more yellow in it. That's going to make it too green. Okay, I'll try that. I think I'm going to paint this one in to have a darker skin color. Just because of her hair. That just seems to look a little more in character to me. Lighten a bit of it up so we have a bit of a shadow side. Could be a little lighter as well. So one thing to keep in mind is when you're putting a shadow on your faces and your legs, and just be sure that your shadow is your light source is coming from the same place, and your shadow looks like they're all getting the sunshine from the same side. That's just something that you don't always think about, but then you wonder why it just doesn't look right, and that can be the reason. Okay, so I have to fix up around her hair. Oops. Oh, I don't have any more of that greeny color, which was this blue, yellow. It's not quite the same, but it's close enough. Okay, so right now this doesn't really feel that balanced because I've got almost all my blue and then all my pink on this side, and she doesn't look like she's that far behind in the background more. So I'm gonna make the lighter pink, and I'm gonna see. I'm pretending this is my blue. If I can just push a pink back into a little grayer shade here. So it's not really pink anymore. Okay, a little more pink in it. Kind of corally now, but that's a little bit wet still, so it's blending in. Come down here. I like to have a little bit of variation, so I'm okay if it's not all totally the same. Maybe soften that edge out there. Okay, I'm feeling like maybe one of these could use a hat, maybe this one over here, just to balance that head. So when you're painting intuitively, you're kind of responding to the painting, and you are, thinking about composition as you go. So I'm thinking that if I put the hat on her, which I just about did, that this would have a lot of dark on one side. Now I don't have to make the hat dark, but I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do for balance. So you can cut a shape out and glue it on as well. This brush is a little bit maybe big for what I'm trying to do here. So make sure the hat is down on the head, not sitting way up top so it looks too big. Her head looks overly large. I mean, her head does look quite large, but yeah, don't sit it on top of the head. That's my point. Okay, so that brings a little bit of balance between the two. And I think I'm going to make her face. Now I'm going to go in and put some flesh tone in there. Okay, so I feel like she needs something too on her head, and maybe it's a little bit of a hairdo, but not as black. So let's see, what can I conjure up with what I got out here? A bit more gray-ish. That's not quite enough contrast. So in this one, I want her face to look a little lighter. Okay, I'm thinking there needs to be some pattern here. This is just too much the same, too plain. Maybe this color needs to be introduced more over there. I have this stencil that I haven't used for a while. Maybe I'll give it a try. That looks kind of cool, but it'll be the reverse, of course. So let's see if I have enough teal here. It's kind of black. So this is a great way to use up some paint that's just little bits and pieces, because you don't have enough for a painting. My sponge is crappy too. Okay, so that gave it a bit of big random polka dots. Kind of marries it together a little bit. So I'm looking at this also for a story and or a message, and I think what I'm going to add to it is some collage. I like this message of add play to your day. That's what I'm doing right now, so that makes perfect sense. And I'll tone this in some, so I just want to figure out, I don't think I want it right in the middle of the painting. Where is it going to feel best? Don't want it covering the hems. It is quite large for the scale, but try and trim that down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to commit to something like that. My underlayer is still a bit wet. So this is a message for everyone to add play to your day. Make sure that you take some time to play, and you know, even if you don't have a lot of time, even if you can commit a few minutes to do a sketch in a sketchbook, or you know, it doesn't have to be big and elaborate. You could just do something with a pencil or a sketching pen or some watercolor crayons as well. That's another great thing to use. So I have some stuff that's still wet here, and it's picking up into my papers. So I think for this one, because my background is light and the letters are light, I think I like that. I'm not going to glaze over them, but I may come in with a pen. Let's see, that's the wrong color, silver. Let's try this. Yeah, so I have a small nib. I'm going to just put a little line. It's not really working well. This is probably too big. Not too bad. So sometimes just the simplest little, a bit of gesture is going to give the indication of a face. You don't need to do a lot, you don't even need to do anything, but that just gives it a little hint of facial features. And I'll put a few lines in here for the fingers. So the last thing I might do to this is, I'm just going to leave her dress long in between. I think that creates a nice balance. I'm going to take this Posca pen, and I don't have any of this color in my painting per se, but it's close to my turquoise, so I'm just going to do a little bit of sketching type marks. Her shoulder bag needs a strap. Can't really see that part of the shoulder strap. Just put that over her bag there. So a little bit in places around her hair. So not a outline per se, just a little bit of kind of sketching quality to add some interest, and maybe I'll just make this strap teal and make it a little brighter, bolder. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope you enjoyed it, that you got some tips out of there, and you'll try some different things in your sketchbook yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see you soon. Bye.